What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the other Binotto Bros. Sally, we are missing Paul today. Paul's a little bit under the weather. He has to sit out, but it's all good because I think we had just like a little short show anyway to get to. We're going to call this the quarterback show. We're going to get into a little bit of what's been going on as far as Patrick Mahomes just getting paid Boko bucks. He's getting paid more than Steph Curry now, and Steph Curry's on a supermax. We're going to get in a little bit about how some of the footage I lost like last week and how we're all basically fortune tellers. All three of us basically anonymously said weeks after Carolina released Cam Newton that he was going to the Patriots. We're going to get into that a little bit later as well. We're going to compare Patrick Mahomes and we're going to compare some Lamar Jackson. And I think we're going to do a if the season does happen, Aaron's a little suspect of the NFL season happening. But I'm thinking we're gonna do like top 5 fantasy quarterbacks. I think that'd be kind of interesting. We'll end the show on that. But first, let's talk about how we're fortune tellers, Aaron. When the news that Cam Newton got released, I think Aaron texted me. The first thing is, what if he goes to the Patriots? And then it was in a group chat with all three of us, obviously. And I said, yeah, I can totally see that happening. Why not? I mean, if they lose Brady, they're gonna probably go after Newton because he's a star. Paul actually may have originally sent a text. I might get this all twisted. I delete my text messages. And
no, it was crazy.
But it was just funny how we all kind of called that, and then here it is about a week later. We actually called it on the podcast, but that was part of the footage that we lost. I think maybe even in this podcast, I like to dive into a little bit. And I know I'm off topic, but I like to dive into a little bit of the NBA draft, like who we think, and actually more clarify on that because last week we lost like half of it. So, but yeah, so that's basically I like Cam Newton. We're fortune tellers. We called it here first. Before we became a podcast, we called that.
Yeah. I mean, we knew Bill Belichick, Nobody was saying Cam. Nobody was saying Cam. People were still talking about Cap because of whatever was going on. We thought the Bears. We said the Bears, maybe.
I think we did. I said the Bears would be smart, but then they traded for Nick Foles like 2 weeks after we said that. I think I actually brought up the idea of Cam Newton going to the Bears.
I feel like it was just like after the Bears traded for Nick Foles, and when we were talking about it, it was just general. Like we were just definitely like Cam Newton to the Patriots because it just made sense. Where else was he going to go?
Especially when he wasn't really.
Maybe the Chargers.
You didn't hear Cam Newton really going and exploring. Like you don't hear about Cam Newton going to see the pick. Like hypothetically saying the Steelers. Like we don't hear him going to the Steelers or going to the Browns or. The Saints. You don't hear those. So it was like
training or anything.
And the only person you could think of is like, Bill Belichick's he's been having private meetings. He hasn't been going to the Patriots facility. The Patriots facility has been coming to him.
Yeah. Good old Bill. He knows
you know what? In all, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Bill Belichick moves around with more. He's an MVP style quarterback. I mean, he is an MVP, a former MVP. Not that Tom Brady's a former MVP as well, but he's no Cam Newton as far as like mobility wise. So it's going to be curious to see how Bill Belichick is he going to let him kind of be Cam Newton, or is he going to restrict him to playing more of like a pocket passer?
Yeah, and like we were talking about before the pod started, he's not even going to be the starter. He's not even the number one. He's going to have to fight for his job.
Well, I think everyone's like that. Like Baker Mayfield wasn't a starter in Cleveland. Tyrod Taylor was. They had to make, Baker Mayfield kind of sit back, relax, and take notes. Because I think Hoyer might start because they want to make sure Cam Newton's healthy.
Yeah. I mean.
Not that he's not. I'm just saying.
That's a tough comparison, though, because, man, Baker was a rookie. And Tyrod had some good years. But, man, Cam, MVP. He MVP went to the Super Bowl.
That's why it's like I think it's just it's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah. They're gonna make it that way. Maybe light a fire underneath them because it is the Patriots. They do have the tendency to just light a fire underneath you, just to be like, all right, now go out to prove that you're better than what we said you were.
They're not even paying him. Like he's getting $1 million. Patrick Mahomes got like 60 times in one day.
Let's get into Patty Mahomes is making whatever call $1.64 a second. This guy's making $500 million. $504 million.
It's nice when it costs more to turn around to get the dollar you drop. It doesn't just keep going.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just keep
nice,
going.
right?
You'll get that dollar back in the next second. You still got the 64 cents. You know, it all adds up.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't matter.
I did like
somebody else pick
LeBron's.
it up.
I did like LeBron's tweet at him saying, "Hey man, let me borrow $5."
Give me that $5. I could take some $5 real quick.
I mean, that guy deserved to be paid. I mean, I have some of it, like the crazy shit he did. Now we're gonna compare him to Lamar Jackson a little bit later, but as far as throwing, the guy I think over the course of 2019 has 451 attempted throws, 294 of them completed for 65.2%, over 3,600 yards. So he's averaging about 8 yards an attempt. And he was hurt for 3 games, threw for 23 touchdowns, and threw 5 interceptions while being sacked 17 times. That's insane.
Yeah, he's like Aaron Rodgers on steroids.
Well, the biggest thing for your quarterback is make sure he doesn't get sacked. That's what the Steelers have a hard time doing. That's why we always get an injured quarterback, because our offensive line isn't the great. I mean, I don't want to say they're not the greatest. They need a lot of improvement, but they lack in the whole like letting Big Ben get in sacking, because that guy's always on his back somehow. Though he's mobile and can usually evade, the offensive line's key. So the fact that he's only getting sacked 17 times alone, to me, and the first time I read it, is mind-boggling.
It also goes for your team, because I feel like we know Big Ben is like, oh, he can take a sack, he can, stiff arm, whatever.
He's a big guy,
Big Ben. Yeah, so I feel like they never took that approach with Patrick Mahomes. Like that's it. Patrick Mahomes is always like, we just figured he was a short little guy. He was kind of like Aaron Rodgers. He could run, he could play baseball. So I don't think they ever thought that, he's gonna go shed a block or a tackle.
I always thought his dad was a football player,
playing like he's a running back.
I always thought his dad was a football player. I didn't know he was a baseball player until I think I read that on ESPN yesterday. I was like, oh, well, that makes sense why he was such a highly recruited baseball player then. And we'll get into another. Good.
You know what? That's what Patrick Mahomes is. He's Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers together.
I have to agree with you, because if you think about it, he does got a laser of an arm. He's got a whole cannon on him.
Yeah.
And he can move around. And I think that's also why he's not getting sacked so much too, is because if he sees his pocket possibly collapsing, he's so quick. He hit that outside and start turning upfield for 10, 12 yards, and then jump out of bounds.
Yeah, that's the thing that Russell Wilson does that I just hate as a Packers fan. When everybody's going to tackle him, he's like running back and forth, and then there's that one wide receiver who, I mean, it sounds like I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers almost. You're not used to it. It's okay.
Aaron Rodgers don't got that mobility.
But it's like Mahomes. It's like he has God on his side almost. He has that little.
That's very true. It's like when you watch him play, it's like when you watch LeBron James take the court. If you think about it, like LeBron James is going to do something amazing, you just got to wait.
Whoa! Did I convert you?
No, I still think Michael Jordan's better, but I'm talking about today's sport. Because you got to think about everyone wants to watch Patrick Mahomes like everyone wants to watch LeBron. Let's be real.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm talking like as far as like star caliber. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna call it out.
I feel like you were talking about me. I'm so happy. Oh man!
I still think Michael Jordan's better. I'm just saying, LeBron gets his compliments. Look, if he was in Cleveland, it's different. If he's in Cleveland, it's different. He's not in Cleveland, so everything's cool with me and LeBron.
I just want everybody to know that when me and Greg would do NBA drafts, he would draft LeBron, but he would draft Jordan. I just want that to be known.
Yeah, but it's because a 6'8" guy can play point guard compared to a 6'6" guy who can just play shoot. It's 2K, Aaron. We're not getting into 2K. We're talking real life. Okay. Bro, do you want to go do a draft? I'll draft you I always do today.
I just want them to know that you're a closet LeBron fan, Okay, and eventually, if he wasn't drafted to Cleveland, you'd be on the bandwagon. It's okay.
It's
We
true.
get it. You hate
No, that's
Cleveland.
true.
You hate
That's
Cleveland,
true.
but it's okay. And now he's on the Lakers, so you hate the Lakers. But it's
I don't necessarily
okay.
hate the
It's
Lakers, but I
okay.
definitely like the Clippers a lot more.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Now we're getting so off topic right
Never
now.
heard you
I
say
compare
that.
Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes to
no, no,
LeBron, and
no, no, no.
now you're starting your
No,
little
no, no.
tirade.
Clippers,
Oh man, where's Paul when I need
Clippers.
him? Where's
Oh
Paul when I
man.
need him?
Oh
Um,
no, the Clippers.
the Clippers, yes, the
Uh,
Clippers. So
what?
that's good for Patrick Mahomes. He's making more than when I thought Steph Curry's max contract was crazy. This contract is insane. Like, wasn't
10
Steph Curry's
years?
contract like 2 or 3 years, like 300 million?
Yeah, no, yeah,
It
that
was
was
something
little.
like bonkers. And this is
Yeah,
what,
that was
10 years, $504 million. So think about that. In
probably
10
the
years,
longest.
and dude, don't forget the 449 million of that's guaranteed.
Yeah, and that's probably the longest contract I've ever heard of in NFL. I
I
don't know if they said that, but
I
I don't
think it
remember
is
hearing
the
anything.
longest
10
because
years?
I remember I think maybe after the season I think they even said they were trying to do the Chiefs were trying to do something with Patrick Mahomes that no one's ever done in their entire life, and I
Yeah.
think they were
It,
trying to
it,
I think this might be the first 10-year contract in NFL. I'd have to go and
it's
verify
funny
that.
though. Yeah, it's funny though because we just said he was like a baseball player, and they gave him a baseball player contract.
Basically, yeah. You do
They
some
gave him a
baseball players
baseball
aren't even
player
getting paid
contract.
$500 million. I don't even think the best baseball player
Yeah,
in MLB. I don't think Mike
they're
Trout's
getting
getting
them 10 year
$500 million.
contracts.
But that's, I mean,
No, no, Mike
he's
Trout's
making.
getting
I
he's
don't
getting
think
a
he's getting
lot. He's
500.
getting like a
He's
good.
getting a lot, but he ain't getting no 500
Well,
million.
let me let
You
me
gonna look it up?
see.
Well,
Mike Trout's probably yeah.
while you look that up, let's get into a little bit of a comparison between him and Lamar Jackson because Lamar
Oof.
Jackson's looking to probably get paid relatively
Okay.
soon too, if you think about it. And
It's
I'm going to throw
his,
out his
his
comparisons to Patrick Mahomes here. So he played one more game, actually, than Patrick Mahomes. Threw for 248 completions out of 381 attempts. Averaged 65.1% of his passes. Over 2,800 yards passing. Averaged about 7.4 a pass. But he also threw for 31 touchdowns while getting 6 interceptions and being sacked 22 times. And I'm going to save that because realistically, everyone thought Lamar Jackson was really going to be that guy who's just going to be a runner. But those stats
yeah.
right there are nice for some guy who's just a running back. And I think he alludes to that as a joke often, and I think he should continue doing that because he's not just a running back. That guy is elite.
Yeah.
And this is why. Rushing attempts, 173 for over 1,200 yards. I believe it's either tied or it is the most rushed by it off. It's the most.
Yeah.
Because I know he was tied with Mike Vick for a second. I don't know if he passed him or not.
Yeah, no, he passed him, and Mike Vick gave him some cleats.
6.9 yards attempt. His longest rush was 47. He had over 20 yards plus rushing with 7 touchdowns on the rushing. So if you think about it, in total, this dude had 38 touchdowns, 6 interceptions combined with his rushing touchdowns all season.
Yeah,
it doesn't show if he had any fumbles or not, but I wouldn't think he did.
Question. So now that we've said the stats, who would you draft? You have to draft right now. You know this, or you know what? Let's not say draft. Let's say they're both free agents right now, and you have their stats right now. You just have to choose one, and they're going to your team. You don't have to give up anything. You're just good. You sign them.
That's a real tough one, but I as much as I kind of want to take Lamar Jackson, I think I'm taking Patrick Mahomes, just because of how he kind of gets together with the locker room and everything. Like he seems to make those guys all want to play better. I if that was a quarterback, like I wish Ben Roethlisberger was like that in Pittsburgh because we would actually probably be more elite than we already are. But he's just kind of like, everyone just do their thing. I think that's Roethlisberger's mentality. I think he literally just goes in there and says, everyone just do your thing. We'll be all right. And then we'll go 8-8.
Yeah, elite.
They are elite. We're the best
that got me. That got me. Elite.
They're the best defense in the league. Lamar Jackson even had trouble with them last year.
I mean, yeah, but they're super elite. I don't know, guys.
They're elite.
When was the last time you guys went to the Super Bowl?
Last time we played the Packers.
It's
When's
a,
the last
it's
time
a
you guys
trick.
went to the Super Bowl?
It's
The last time you can see us in the
when we
past?
beat y'all.
Yeah. So,
It's just such a
like I said,
mess.
those rushing stats are so appealing, though. But I think
Yeah,
I think
no,
it's just
yeah,
I think it's just how Patrick Mahomes presents himself. I feel like he'd be the guy if I was to start a
yeah,
franchise today. And these guys both being what I think 24, 25 years old, I would take Patrick
yeah.
Mahomes every day. Who?
They're
Let me ask you that same question. Who would you choose between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes?
I I think, and I don't want to like knock down what Mahomes has done, but I don't think that the Baltimore Ravens have a Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is just probably the best wide receiver. If it's just like, oh, go catch it. If it's just go catch it, I can throw as far as I want. You just go catch it. I think Tyreek Hill's just the best at that, and I think he
He's
makes
got
Mahomes
them
a bit better.
burners.
But he got the 99 speed. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
No,
He's
I
got
think
the
next year. I mean, I don't want to bring up mad stats, but he's definitely going to have 110 speed next year. He has to.
yeah,
That guy is
he had Max.
grossly fast.
He when we would do our franchise, I would draft him. Just do one little route, and he's gone. No matter who's on him, you double team him, and he's gonna burn him. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I would have to go with Lamar Jackson. I just think that he seems like he has the potential to throw better, and as long as he has the potential to throw better, I don't think that Patrick Mahomes will ever get better than what he is. Not saying that's not a knock because he's already
I
good,
mean, he's
but
elite.
I
Yeah.
just
I mean,
don't.
he's top of the line.
Yeah, so it's like, but I don't know. I think that we still haven't seen what Lamar will be able to do. And plus, Lamar hasn't gotten hurt, and Patrick has.
I mean, he has been hurt, but I mean, it hasn't been anything like too crazy.
Like,
Maybe a
yeah,
game or
yeah.
two. Or
Which I guess
concussion protocol, which I think if someone steps out for concussion protocol, that's fine because I mean, it's going to better them in the longevity of
yeah,
their career. So I'm never going to flaw anyone for taking a game off or taking a couple games off for concussion
yeah,
reasons. I don't think anyone should do that. If they do that, that's pretty selfish of you, really. You're not
yeah,
thinking about the person's health. You're thinking more so of just your needs at that moment in time. Don't mean
yeah,
to disrespect anyone. That's just how I feel. And I know there's some people who like wish for concussions and bad things. Like as much as Myles Garrett pisses me off about the whole Mason Rudolph thing, I don't want anything bad to happen to Myles Garrett.
No, in the moment, you're like, destroy, Big Ben. Get him out of there. Get the backup in there.
I
But
think
you don't want him to
you
get
want me
hurt.
so
Like, you don't
bad.
want
You want me.
life.
I think on this show you want me so bad to say I want Big Ben out, and you keep trying every week, and it's just not going to happen.
Well, it's because I don't want anything.
I'm sorry, and I say this every week too. I'm sorry I didn't draft a quarterback to push out my all-star winning quarterback who has another 5 or 6 years left. That's neither here nor there.
Let me do a Stephen A. Big Ben's a friend of mine. We're nice friends. We're good friends. But no. When he's playing, I'm like, go ahead and hit him. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want him to get hurt. I just want him to get out the game. No, nothing life ending.
You just want to
once you see
change.
players,
you just want to change.
yeah. I want him to not want to play. That's what I want players to do. When they're facing my team, I don't want them to want to play. I don't want them to get hurt. I don't want, not even the Bears players sometimes, but not all the time,
You are such an asshole.
Anyway,
I'm gonna ignore everything you just said. We're gonna go.
I used to laugh at Jay Cutler on that bicycle. Go ahead,
Jay
Cutler's
Jay
Cutler.
Well, I do want to bring up something about Jay Cutler. Is it me or did Jay Cutler get way cooler in like a year?
It was just.
He got married. He got divorced, and since then he's like, oh man, I come out and have fun now.
That's how you get guys behind you. You get a divorce. You start being a little toxic. You're like, yeah, you're cool now.
I'm part of the cool kids.
He told his wife, "You get your own job and you buy your own watch." Oh man, and then we're all supporting him. It's cool.
I'm supporting. It's whatever. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's break them down.
He was a good job at that.
Well, let's break it down as far as like fantasy wise. So you got that pick. And you know me, I like to pick my quarterbacks between like the 5th and 6th round, but I think the way Patrick Mahomes has been playing, he's going to be at least a 2nd or 3rd round pick. My question is, do you see more value though? And because Lamar Jackson's also going to probably be a 2nd, 3rd round pick, so you either have to go and bite the bullet on Lamar Jackson or Patrick
I no,
Mahomes as a quarterback.
I think they'd both go in a second. I think people would reach.
That's why I said second
because
and
the
third,
value
because
of them.
I know me,
Yeah,
like I think my fourth round quarterback rule's like cemented. Like
yeah.
it's either fourth round to sixth round. I'm selecting a quarterback.
Unless you mean I choose Aaron Rodgers in a second just because I want him to be above
You
every other
did do that like a
quarterback in the
fucking
draft.
idiot. And I think he got hurt that year too, like
just,
a bunch of
just.
times.
We don't talk about that, all right? We talk about him being
Oh,
drafted first
okay.
in our fantasies, okay? And every fantasy I'm in.
I will say,
I had bad luck with fantasies. I don't like to talk about it.
as much as I love Ben Roethlisberger, I had never drafted Ben Roethlisberger. I've always picked him up in free agency. Every time. But
sure
yeah, I mean, yeah. So I think I would have to go. I think I'm still going to take Patrick Mahomes, and I actually had. He would be somebody that if I see in the third round, I look at the wide receivers and the running backs, and I'm like, well, why not just get Patrick Mahomes, who's going to be a running back, or fucking he's not going to get a receiver, but he's a running back practically. He's not going to give you.
They're running back quarterbacks.
They're not going to. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to give you the rushing numbers Lamar Jackson is, but you never know because that offensive line in Baltimore is even getting more deadly too. If anything, they're going to be dropping more like quarterback draws or what's that other one they do? I think quarterback draws what they do in the shotgun. I'm pretty sure. Or like a bootleg. I'd like to see the option be brought in.
I was gonna say the read option. That's what they also did.
I think I'd like to see more options in the NFL.
I think you would be shocked, and I think that Lamar, if the season plays, that I think they're going to have him throw more. I think they're going to try to trick everybody. Everybody's going to be expecting him to run. I think we'll see more throwing. I don't think you can do that against Patrick Mahomes, which is what separates them right now. I don't think you can just assume that Patrick Mahomes is going to run or throw because he can do both pretty well. So, but Lamar, I think people are going to expect him to run a lot more. And there's going to be a lot more blitzes, and we'll see what he does under pressure. But
I can agree with that 100%.
It's going to be scary. It feels like they're rookies, but they're not rookies. But it feels like they're rookies.
And I don't want to bring up the Steelers,
going on their sophomore years.
I'm curious to see how Lamar Jackson, after last season being so successful, how he thinks he's going to bring it. That Steelers defense, like as much as you don't want to say it, they're the best defense in probably the league. We have the best linebacking core. Our corners are suspect, but our safeties are only getting better, and we have a good defensive line. The only suspect we have is our cornerbacks. But if we have Minkah Fitzpatrick happen to pull in some Troy Polamalu bullshit, I mean, we might see us in the Super Bowl in the next couple years. T.J. Watt's only getting better, my friend. But the only thing that worries me is Lamar Jackson in our division. I'm not afraid of Baker. I'm a little worried about Joe Burrows, but that's only because we haven't really seen him play in the NFL yet. I'm not worried about Baker. Not worried about Baker. I think we can shut Baker down.
That's an actual burger. Hold on.
It is an actual burger. That's my favorite burger at Wendy's.
Hey.
But I have no worry that Browns defense or offense does not worry me whatsoever.
Neither does the Steelers, which is why everything you're saying about the defense.
Well, I mean, you could also say I did say the Ravens were going to beat the Steelers in the AFC North. The Ravens are probably going to run away with it if Lamar Jackson has the same year he had last year.
They're going to be in Vegas. Las Vegas.
Is that where the Super Bowl's about? Oh, it is. I think it is. Yeah.
That's where the Raiders are going to play. So
you're saying Lamar Jackson's going to the Raiders?
No. The Raiders are going to play in. They're moving.
You just want you got me all confused right now. That's staying in. That's staying in. Aaron's just confused, not just me, but the entire other Binotto bros.
I'm pretty sure you said Raiders instead of Ravens, so I went with it. And I was like,
oh, okay. That's a possibility. I've done that before.
It's okay.
So let's do quarterbacks. Let's rank the 5 quarterbacks. Who you would believe. Yeah, we'll do top 5. Do 5 through 1. I like going from the bottom up because if you do from the top down, it's annoying. So go. Give me number. We'll both do it. We'll do 5. You go first. It's probably gonna take me a second to do mine. Okay, I figured.
So, damn, what? What was that? Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to do mine. No, no, I figured it out.
I,
Okay,
I
so
just had
who's
I just
gonna
had to
do?
think about because me being a 3 out of 5 time SMPJ fantasy football champion.
SMPG.
Just
Okay,
saying. Even though
okay.
some people were saying
So,
I was dead in the water like Aaron Artis over here, and then they'll come about getting the dub. Still waiting for my belt, by the way, Nick Birch.
okay, so top five quarterbacks their season, like at the end, or you
As
mean
fantasy wise, so think
draft?
fantasy
So draft.
numbers, like in the fantasy drafts for fantasy football. Yeah, so do 5 and then go up from there.
Oof, that might actually be a
It's
little more
tough.
tough.
It's very tough. If you
Because
want to, I can give you my 5th one if you want me to.
I wanted to say Brady, and the only reason I want to say Brady is because he has Mike Evans now, and I can't remember the other dude's name, but that might be shocking. He might throw the ball a lot longer. He might do short passes. He might do a lot more long passes than he's used to.
Oh, he's gonna
So
have a
they
lot
can
more
run.
weapons than he did
So
in
and
New
tight
England
end,
because he's got 2
yeah,
tight ends. He's got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and I mean their running back situation. I mean you can go either here or there, but Ronald Jones Jr. is a guy from USC who I like a lot. We'll see. Maybe he can pan out because I know he was kind of taken off last year, but then I think an injury slowed that down for him.
yeah.
My 5 is actually going to be right in your wheelhouse, dude. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. I think
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder this year, and I think that he's going to go out there and ball out, and there's no question about it. You can
I
never go
don't like
wrong.
you saying
You
that.
can you can never you can never go wrong with drafting Aaron Rodgers in a fantasy league ever. I mean, he'll have a couple bad games, but he'll have more good games to make up for those bad games. So number 5 would be Aaron Rodgers, but I did like your pick of Tom Brady.
Yes. It kind of disgusts me a little bit when you say Aaron Rodgers. Like I don't like when you say it.
I just,
It's gonna be
I've been
bad luck.
playing.
I don't know. Don't bet on the Packers now.
I've been playing fantasy football for a long time, my friend, and I know if I have Aaron Rodgers, I have a good chance to win. So I'll go with number 4. I'll start it
Yeah.
off here. I'm going to take Tom Brady. Tom Brady at number 4, just
Okay.
because of the reason you just said, because we have Chris Godwin, you got Mike Evans, you got Gronkowski, you
Yeah.
got OJ Howard, maybe unless he's still getting traded. I think maybe Tom Brady's going to have a say in whether or not that guy gets traded or not. I think they're going to have him learn from Gronk and make him better because OJ Howard's a beast. That
Yeah.
offensive line just getting better, and at the end of the day, their head coach is Bruce Arians, and I trust Bruce Arians.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I would love to say Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not going to. I actually think Drew Brees. I
Mm.
think Brees.
He
I
also
feel like
has
we
a chip
sleep
on
on
his
him a
shoulder
lot.
this season after a lot of the
Uh,
stuff he said, and then got the
he
yeah. He
he
might be forced to kind of
he.
ball out a little bit.
I feel like we sleep. Yeah, we don't pay attention to him enough. All right. I know he also has elite
No one
plays with
does.
other quarterbacks, and but I mean, I feel like when we think of top quarterbacks, unless you're a New Orleans fan named Jacob that we know, uh,
I was
you
just about to say
overlook him.
Jacob's gonna love you for this.
I'm like, yeah, unless you're somebody we know named Jacob, then we kind of overlook Drew Brees a little bit, at least for
Jacob, we're still trying to
numbers.
get
Like
you on the podcast, dude. We're still trying to get Jacob on the
Drew,
podcast.
I don't know. Drew Brees feels like a Spurs player to me. Like I don't pay. I know he's there. He's like Tim Duncan. You know he's
Yeah, I
there.
was just
You know
about
he's
to
gonna
say
do
Tim
something.
Duncan. He does have
But
that Tim Duncan mentality.
but you don't, you're not looking out for him. Like, oh,
But he's
you see
gonna
Drew.
probably if you don't bring your
Yeah,
best, he's gonna go
you
out
know
on
he's
you.
good.
He's
You know he's
very
good.
good.
He's just quiet in a way.
Drew Brees would be
Weird.
my top 10, but he would never be in my top 5. Not disrespect to
Yeah.
Drew Brees, it's just I don't think the chemistry's there. I will say, so you got Drew Brees number 4. Do you want to kick off your number 3? Because I
You
think
know
our
what?
number threes are going to be just about the same, if I'm not mistaken.
Now I'm curious on your number 3.
Go ahead. Go.
No. I actually. Hmm. Now you're making me rethink my number 3. Nah, you know what? I'm actually gonna put Lamar there. I'm
Ooh,
putting Lamar
okay.
there. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't. It just depends. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, if he's gonna run more or is he gonna throw more? People know how he plays a lot more now. Another year of people knowing, seeing more plays, seeing more tape. I don't expect him to do as crazy. I don't expect him to get that many rushing yards. I feel like people were too scared to tackle him. I don't know if you're going to be scared to tackle him again, because you'll just lose if you're scared. Just take the penalty.
You know what? It's real funny you picked Lamar Jackson because I was actually going to put somebody else here, but now you got me second guessing myself. So I think I am going to throw Lamar Jackson number 3 now. Not just everything Aaron said, but the only thing that he left out though was consistency. I don't know if he can be as consistent as he was last year. I don't know. You know, Lamar Jackson, one of those guys, he can be sink or float. I mean, look at Cam Newton after he had that MVP season. Everyone thought he was going to be like a revolutionary for the next 3 years, and what happens to him? He injury problems. So I'm going to put Lamar Jackson there, and then I'll go to my number 2. I'm actually going to start off number 2. I think it's going to be Russell Wilson, who originally was my number 3, and I thought that was going to be your number 3. I was like, I think Aaron and I are like 4. I knew 4 and 5 were going to be different, but I was like 3's spot on. But Russell Wilson, you can't really say Russell Wilson isn't probably one of the best running backs, one of the best quarterbacks in fantasy football by any means, because he is a guy who has an arm. He's got weapons to throw to, and he also is very mobile on his toes. So I'm very, very eager to see what Russell Wilson does, because they did a lot in the draft this year. They did a lot in the draft this year. I think they got more offensive linemen to maybe protect a little more, because that was his issue last year. He was getting sacked a lot. Though he was mobile, I mean, if he's going to be put in one of those positions where he has to kind of, drop back and try to get a pass out, I mean, what are you going to do? You got to give that man room to breathe. Without that, he can't be mobile. So who's your number 2?
Man, I feel like it's out there, but man, I'm tied between 2 people, and they're both crazy picks to me. But I
You're just trying to be
like,
different now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because you want to say Russell Wilson, but you're like, do I want to say Russell Wilson?
Because I don't know. I don't feel like Russell fits. I feel like ever since that Super Bowl, I don't know, man. I feel like he's still great. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like that team just doesn't work out.
Ooh,
I feel like they never reach their. I feel like they don't reach their potential. That's what it is.
I think I know exactly who you're picking here, but I'm gonna let you tell the people.
In my head, I feel like it's more crazier to say Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh wow!
I want to say that. I really want to say that because I'm thinking, okay, Carolina, different division. They're not ready for Teddy Two Gloves, but I'm gonna say Kyle Murray. Ooh. I think he got a new quarterback. He has a new wide receiver.
He's got DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, that's really interesting. And he does have the mobility factor to give you not just passing, but rushing.
Just rushing yards. And I feel like he was under – I don't think we paid enough attention to him last season. I feel like he had a really good – he had a good year for rookie.
He wasn't bad. It wasn't number 1 overall pick good, but –
I mean, it wasn't Mahomes. It wasn't, Lamar. But it was for a quarterback on the Cardinals in the last few years. I mean,
with half the year not even having David Johnson as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think they need to move past David Johnson, but go ahead.
Well, no, but he does play a part in trying to make them think to run to throw the pass. Obviously, I mean that's just basic football. But without having that guy there half the year, even the screen passes, I'm sure David Johnson caught some screen passes there once in a while. But I feel like with Lamar or with DeAndre Hopkins, he's got more of a chance than he does with basically David Johnson. I will say I'm actually kind of surprised neither one of us said Deshaun Watson.
You know what? Because he lost his guy.
That's true. So who's your number 1 then?
Which is why I say Kyler Murray instead. Well, you know my number 1 is. I mean, come on, it's that bad man, the one and only Patrick Mahomes.
I'm pretty sure Steve Na's probably called him a bad man already.
I mean, he's still in the State Farm commercials, man. Like, come on, State Farm, how you doing that for? Why? We're used to seeing Aaron with the dog, in the truck. Him and James Harden. It's
And
gonna
now
feel
it's
weird, but
all Patty Mahomes.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
Mahomes.
I, yeah, I gotta. I really, I don't expect Aaron Rodgers to become any good stats this year. I expect the team, if they're gonna move past him, I think they're gonna start running the ball more. So I really don't expect. That's why I didn't even put him in my top five,
That's
or
what
else he would
they
be
keep saying
number
about the
like
Bears need
three.
to do. The Bears need to keep running the ball a little bit more to set up
I mean,
Mitch Trubisky in the past. That's what a lot of. I know Big Cat says it all the time.
yeah, no, yeah, the Bears don't ever do anything they say
I think that's why they're
they're.
not as bad as
Yeah,
Pirates fans, in my opinion.
yeah, no, the Bears. I don't know. The Bears might surprise us. I hope not, but you never know.
I think they are
It,
going to
it,
be
it
very
always gives me
surprising.
when the Bears almost make it somewhere. It just gives me like a good feeling in my heart. When it's like teetering, like oh they can make it to the playoffs, just one game. Oh we're in the playoffs. We just need to win this one game, and they lose, and that wild card. Ooh, just it's so great. It's so great. I wish Paul was here right now. Just let him hear that. How great it
And
makes
then
me feel.
just take it away from them.
Yeah. Just,
And then you
let,
lose.
let him get a little feel of the money, feel the championship, a little
Like I feel like I was
good
a
feel of
part.
winning.
And then
Give
you
them that
lose.
lead
And then
too. When they had
and
the
then
lead.
you get the number 2 seed, and then it's all taken away.
Just gone. Oh, nothing better. There's nothing better.
I love the Bears. So let's talk about a little bit of this NBA
Wait, who's
draft.
your number one?
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes is easy. I mean, I mean, I just made that huge. I just fucking gloated for him probably being the next GOAT as far as quarterbacks if he can keep it up.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it
Yeah,
so far 2 years in a
he's
row,
close.
but I mean, remember how great Willie Parker of the Steelers was good for 2 years, and then we don't know what happened to him after that. Still holds the longest run in Super Bowl history.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember
No one
Steelers
remembers
players.
Willie Parker, but go look up Super Bowl 40, and now that's the longest rush in all of Super Bowl history.
What? Who?
So let's get into a little bit. I want to talk a little bit of NBA with you, of course, because that's our favorite topic.
Running.
So we got into a little bit of
Steelers.
we got a little bit into the draft last week, and I kind of want to shed a little bit of light on who we were talking about before we were talking about James Wiseman. Whenever all the the recording came back in, like LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is probably one of the top prospects in this tournament, or in this draft. When the draft will
We're in
be,
the tournament.
only time will tell. We might be. They might put it in a position where they have to have a tournament play to see who gets the number 1 overall pick. Because LaMelo Ball's gonna be worth it. So you guys didn't get to see it on the last episode, but we did touch on a couple places. Aaron, how about you give everyone the 3 destinations that we thought that LaMelo Ball would be perfect
in? Ooh. Well, now I feel like it's so different. I'm really hoping the Bulls don't get him. I mean, I gotta start off there. But I think the one of the teams I mentioned was New Orleans, right? I'm pretty sure we talked about New Orleans.
We did talk about New Orleans.
It'd be interesting. It'll be interesting seeing if New Orleans doesn't win any games because they're in the playoffs,
We are in the playoff. They're on. I think they're the 9th seed.
Yeah.
In that Western Conference.
Yeah, it would be insane seeing the Ball brothers playing together.
It would.
If that works out.
I think it would be kind of interesting. You're adding, and I think I said this last week, getting LaMelo Ball, Lonzo Ball, Zion Williamson, and Jackson Hayes. That's I'm sorry, I forgot one. Brandon Ingram to that mix as well. That's a good young squad. Like Josh Hart's gonna come off the bench. They probably will let Drew Holiday go because his contract's gonna be so crazy.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else really on their bench that would be.
He was too comfortable anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Drew Holiday, I think he was too comfortable. I think that happens with players like Jeff Teague. I think he's too comfortable on the Timberwolves, but that's so
Well,
another
he plays
story.
for the
So
Hawks now.
yeah, yeah. Oh, he does.
That
I
is a
didn't know that.
team. That's a team that I actually think LaMelo Ball would be really good
Oh,
with is the Hawks, and I think we talked about that last week. Be interesting to get him with a lot of those young guys
yeah,
they have down there: DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish. Um, the weird thing would
yeah.
be though is like they're probably going to throw DeAndre Hunter or Cam Reddish at shooting guard, which means there really wouldn't be really a spot for LaMelo. Unless they're
Yeah.
probably going
I
to make
mean,
DeAndre Hunter like a six man, which I'm not really mad about because Harrison Barnes was a six man when the Golden State Warriors were winning rings before KD got there. So
yeah,
I
I think
wouldn't be
one of the
opposed to
things we
seeing that.
said though, I think one of the things we said was, well, I said was Lamelo's 6'8", so he doesn't have to play point guard. I mean, well, they
It
play
would be nice
positionless
to put him at
basketball
point
anyway.
guard because we talk about
Yeah,
how, like Ben said, like having a big guy at point guard is something that's new to the league, and I think there should be more implemented
yeah,
because it makes it so much more fun to watch.
yeah. I'm obviously hoping he goes to the Suns. Um, I would love for him to be on the Suns with he play point guard, even though he's taller than way taller than Devin Booker. But yeah, no, it would be. I think it would be kind of interesting. I started praying yesterday or last week when we last did the pod when that he wouldn't go to the Warriors. I
Yeah, that's
was
another
really
team we
hopeful
said.
he doesn't. I really hopeful he doesn't go to the.
I think
I'm
I
so
don't like
sick
I
of the
said, and
Warriors.
I even said last week that I don't think he's going to the Warriors because I feel like they're still going to ride out Steph Curry until he probably burned out, and then they'll start thinking they're like,
Yeah,
okay, now we got to start building. Because last year it wasn't really Steph Curry playing bad, it wasn't Klay Thompson playing bad. Everyone was hurt. Klay Thompson was
yeah,
out the entire season. He got injured in game 3 of the NBA Finals.
yeah.
KD got
Wait,
hurt the round before the NBA Finals.
yeah.
So I mean, there was an injury bug in Golden State. Plus, losing Kevin Durant didn't help either. So I can't say that they're a bad team by any means because they were just so beat up. And then they traded for D'Angelo Russell, which wasn't a bad move. And then you go off and switch them off to the Timberwolves. But I'm pretty sure they got a lot of good stuff from the Timberwolves too, because. And the Timberwolves are one of those teams that are really low. I don't know if they kept this draft pick for this season. If they did, though,
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball can go to the Timberwolves.
I just thought about something, and I'm trying to look to confirm, but I'm not seeing anything. When the Brooklyn Nets traded D'Angelo Russell to the Golden State Warriors, did they get a first round pick? Not from the Warriors, but did they keep theirs? Because the Nets are not even in they're not even in the playoffs. They're not even in the regular season or the rest of the regular season that they're gonna have. So that would be
I can't confirm, but what I can say is that's a very good observation. Because if the Brooklyn Nets they're not very highly ranked.
at all.
If they happen to get bumped out of this playoff race, that's only going to make their
And,
lottery odds
and,
better.
and Kyrie's
And
not playing or KD.
so LaMelo Ball to the Nets. So this is what I'm thinking. Listen, this is what
Oh
I'm thinking.
man.
This is what I got on my brain right now. I don't think it's going to happen. But if you happen to get the number 1 overall pick and you know you can draft LaMelo Ball, do you even bother keeping Kyrie?
You don't want to ask me that. I don't like. I don't think that Kyrie is as good as we ever made him seem. He hasn't done anything since he left Cleveland. So that's how I feel about him until he does something that shows me, besides a few dribble plays, highlights, that he's actually still good. I don't know. I think. Well, hold on. If you put Kyrie at point guard, or let's say you just keep Kyrie on the court, you just go back to what LeBron and Kyrie would do, but now you do with LaMelo and KD, and then give Kyrie his little ISO
Yeah, but
plays every now and then.
you
I
don't want
think
to step
that's
on
crazy.
Karis LeVert's, because I mean, that dude's been balling out all year. Like he was very
That's
impressive.
true.
So that's where I'm thinking. If you were to ship off Kyrie Irving and maybe acquire some draft picks or maybe some more big men, you can have yourself LaMelo Ball, is it Cassius or Carius? I'll just say Levert.
Uh,
Levert is shooting guard.
Levert.
Then you'd
Harris.
have
They still got
then
Harris.
you
Yeah.
could probably put this is what I would do because I know they're going to probably throw KD at power forward. I'd like KD as small forward.
Yeah.
Maybe, and whoever you trade for Kyrie, you get them to play power forward. And then you have DeAndre Jordan. And then you got Spencer Dinwiddie as your sixth man.
Yeah,
it makes sense, Brooklyn.
I mean,
and you're not having a cancer that is called Kyrie Irving on your team either.
I was gonna say, but who's gonna trade for the cancer, man? It's so
you know who probably would, Aaron? The Phoenix Suns.
The Bulls. Oh, the Phoenix. Hold on. Depending what they want, I think I'm good. If I'm the GM of the Suns, I'm good. I'm upset because we didn't get Russell. I'm not gonna give up Russell if I had to choose, I would rather run Russell than Kyrie, even though Russell is not attainable anymore. But I don't know. I think there's a few point guards that I'd choose over Kyrie, and that's just me though. That's me, non-GM, not credentials.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people would rather have some other point guards than Kyrie, but you can't deny that Kyrie doesn't have some ability. I think also, he would sell tickets in Phoenix. He would compliment Kyrie. He would compliment I think Darius or Devin Booker a little bit. Maybe compliment DeAndre Ayton a little bit if they keep him. Yeah.
But what are we trading for him? That's the thing.
It would probably be drafted.
If we lose these. Yeah, because if we lose these 4 games or however 8 games, then shoot, we might have the first round pick, and this might just change everything else. So it depends a lot. It's a lot of what ifs, but I don't know, man. I don't think Kyrie's just he's sketched to me, man. Kyrie's Odell. He reminds me of Odell. It's not fair to say that to Odell Beckham, but we know who he is. We see his plays. He does crazy things, but when it comes to the team, when it comes to showboating, you're there. But when it comes to the team actually playing and winning games, you're not really there, and you're not really helping. So
I think
that was a good comparison to that.
But I agree.
That was a good one,
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Look at you, Aaron Two Gloves out here.
We've now.
Aaron Two Gloves.
Aaron Two Gloves. Teddy Two Gloves. Man, watch Teddy Bridgewater go off this season. I'm gonna be upset because I didn't say that.
So I want to talk about a guy. I don't know if you know about him. You know anything about Anthony Edwards? That guy from Georgia?
He's
about 6'5". He's playing the point guard shooting guard position. I think he's another guy who's going to be a breakout star if he's put with the right system. So, and I'm going to go to the Phoenix Suns here because the Phoenix Suns, they're in need of a point guard. I think this guy would be perfect for their point guard position. You do some research on it. I want you to get back to me, but check him out. I don't want him to go to the Suns. I don't want anyone good going to the Suns, but he might be someone you might want to look out for.
Whoa, where's the Sun take coming from?
Yeah, I don't like the Suns. They took Steve Nash.
Here we go. They took Steve Nash. No. Steve Nash came to us.
No. You guys
his own volition. No, he wanted to come.
No, he just wanted more money.
The Suns need a good seat. Look, man.
You know what? On the plus side, we did get Jason Kidd for it. I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Jason Kidd went back to Phoenix and got shipped.
Yeah, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't stay long. But no. We don't talk about past history when we talk about the Suns. We only talk past history when we talk about Green Bay, or when we talk about like ancient history, we talk about the Steelers, or
It's not that long ago. It was like maybe 2009.
I mean, look, the Suns only get players when they're old or they have like one star player at a time. They just like to sell tickets. That's all they want to do. Let's be honest. I just like the team. Like gone to more of their games than any other team.
The Phoenix Suns
partially live in Arizona.
The Phoenix Suns are the Pittsburgh Pirates of the NBA.
Yeah, I
He
get
was
it.
trying,
Yeah,
guys. He was trying so hard to try
I
to not
don't.
accept that, but it is
Yeah,
what it is.
it's what can I do? What can I do? I've
Not
gone
a
to the
whole
games
lot.
because they like to sell tickets. They can't because the team's trash. Oh man,
Well,
hey! At least when I go to a Phoenix game, a Phoenix Suns game, there's more people there than there are at a White Sox game. And I know that's a whole different
well,
sport,
the White Sox don't
but
really have
it's
fans, and the
yeah.
people who are White Sox fans are closet fans who never leave their house. They literally just stay there and go White Sox," and then they have a whole bunch of Cubs gear all over their house.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know these White Sox fans. Paul knows one very well.
You just like described one in my head. I'm not gonna put them on blast,
No, I
you
don't put them
know,
on
but
blast. Keep it okay.
it's cool.
But
It's cool.
I don't think I have
But
anything else to really go with today, Aaron. I think we
yeah,
covered just about
that's.
everything. It hasn't been.
I
I
think
mean,
we made.
yeah. In our defense, there really hasn't been a whole lot of sports going on as of late. I mean, we're still all going through lockdown. But I will say, if
We're about to
NBA does
go.
happen, it's in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, next week we're talking about esports. That's
Ooh,
that's the only sports going
we could
on.
do that. I'm down. I think actually funny. I think when I got home, I was going on looking at the live TV. They had the NBA 2K League on there.
Yeah,
So who knows?
Ninja switched over to YouTube after he got paid.
Did he? I thought everyone was
Yeah,
going to.
yeah. He started Twitch
I thought there
or
was somebody else going
Facebook.
somewhere.
Whatever.
I can't
Yeah.
remember. I
Now
thought they were going somewhere else.
he got his little mixer money in today, and now he's a YouTube streamer. Yeah, yeah. He's getting. Hey, hold on. You know, Ninja got paid more than Cam. Oh, that's so disgusting.
I mean,
You know what? You know
that
what?
guy's an MVP
Right.
quarterback making
That's
X
it.
money. So, Aaron, just tell people they can find you on social media since you actually officially had one made but haven't followed me yet.
Not only am I following your old account for some reason, but I got to go on there. I got to put a profile picture. I got to, I'm in the process of making different accounts for different activities that I'm going to pursue. Can't have them all, sports people they don't want to see no anime stuff, it's okay. It's okay.
No,
You
they
know, you don't
do.
want to see no gaming stuff. It's okay. I'll make a page. I'll make a page for it. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. More follows spread throughout.
Where can people find you on fucking social media?
Not even producer on Twitter.
You guys can find me on twitch.tv/the ghost named Greg. I actually streamed on Monday for a hot minute. Wasn't too bad, or Tuesday. No, it was Monday. Not too bad. I'm in the process. Huh? Yeah, I'm trying to get the RP going. Yeah, I got the RP going. I got accepted onto this Limelight server, which is really awesome. The whole thing about it is I can't find any way to make any money, so I'm still trying to find this Oxy spot on there to fucking make some money. It's a struggle, but I've been putting myself through.
Trying to get them monetized.
It's in a video game, ladies and gentlemen. It's in a fucking video game.
If you know the spots, just let me know.
On Twitter, ghost named Greg. On Twitter, you guys can catch me on Instagram at the ghost named Greg. And I believe there's I think I made a Patreon. I made a Super Binotto Bros Patreon. Make sure you guys, show some love, support us down in there. It does cost money to do these things that we're doing, so I need help because I'm too poor and I have a comic book addiction.
My OnlyFans will be in the description below.
Aaron, I'm gonna wait till your mom sees that in the thing. I'll be like, Mom, hey, Mom asked. I didn't tell him to do it. He gone did it himself.
Know what that is.
He was just trying to. What's OnlyFans, Aaron? Then she's gonna text me, Greg. What's OnlyFans? And I'm gonna be like, man, I don't know if I should tell you this, Mom asked. But you know what? It's where Aaron's been spending most of his time. But guys, until next time, we will catch you next week on the other Binotto Bros podcast. Make sure you guys put in the comments, rip Paul because he missed this episode, but hopefully he's better for next week.
Yeah, he doesn't have Rona. It's okay.
No, it's not the Rona. It's not the Rona.
He's not the Rona.
No.
All right.
I think
it was probably the Corona. It's just
No, I think it was
I'm
just
sorry.
LBS. I think it's LBS. His
Ja
LBS.
Rule said it was
That's
cool.
all. Ja Rule said it was cool.
Ja Rule said,
All right, I'm ending
it's
on
all
that.
right,
Have a
you
good
know?
night.